If you're a developer, you know the feeling, right? That project backlog that just never seems to shrink. Well, today we're going to talk about a super cool framework from engineers at GitHub called Wrap. It's a total game changer for using the GitHub Copilot coding agent to finally get that backlog under control.
I mean, just imagine it for a second. We've all got one. That ever-growing backlog that's basically a digital graveyard of good intentions. It's just packed with tech debt you swear you'll get to, those really stubborn bug fixes, and all those little passion projects that just never, ever get prioritized. It can feel pretty overwhelming, can it?
But here's an idea. What if we totally reframe how we think about a tool like GitHub Copilot? Instead of seeing it as just a really fancy code completion tool, imagine it's a new junior teammate. One who's incredibly fast, never gets tired, and is just super eager to help you knock out those lingering tasks. So, how do you manage this awesome new teammate? Well, you do it with a simple, easy-to-remember acronym, WRAP. It stands for Write, Refine, Atomic, and Pair. This framework is basically your instruction manual for unlocking the agent's full potential and turning it into an absolute backlog-destroying machine.
Okay, so the whole WRAP method kicks off with a really solid setup, and that starts with W for write. You got to think about it. Just like with any human teammate, the quality of what you get out is completely dependent on the quality of what you put in. You have to give it the right context from the get-go.
So how do you actually do that? Well, first, write your issue like you're explaining it to a new hire who has literally never seen the codebase before. Be super explicit. Second, come up with a descriptive title. Trust me, this will save you so many headaches later when you have a bunch of pull requests open. And third, and this is a big one, give it concrete examples. If you want a specific error handling pattern, show the agent exactly what you mean. And here is the perfect example. It's night and day, right? A super vague request, like update the entire repository, is, well, it's a recipe for disaster. But look at the effective version. It's incredibly specific. Update the authentication middleware. Add unit tests for verification. The takeaway here is so simple. Specificity is absolutely your best friend. All right, let's keep building on this and move to the next letter, R. R is for refine. This is all about giving Copilot custom instructions that act like guardrails, you know? It's how you'll dramatically improve the quality and consistency of the code it writes for you. And you can refine these instructions at 3 different levels, which is pretty cool. At the repository level, you can set things like specific coding styles. Go up a level to the organization, and you can enforce rules that apply everywhere, like maybe you have specific testing requirements. And for the really specialized work, you can even create custom agents for repetitive tasks, like a dedicated integration agent for one of your products. Next up in our setup phase is A for atomic tasks. And this one is all about the scope of the work you're assigning. Your coding agent, your new teammate, is at its absolute best when it's given small, really well-defined problems to solve. To put it another way, don't ask it to boil the ocean. It's a classic saying for a reason. A massive, super complex problem with a ton of dependencies. That is just not a good fit for a single task. You've got to break it down. I mean, for example, just imagine you get this monumental task, rewrite 3 million lines of Java code into Golang. You wouldn't just throw that entire problem at the agent in one go. Can you imagine trying to review that pull request? It would be an absolute nightmare. The solution is to break it down. So instead of one giant task, you split that Golang migration into smaller atomic pieces. See? Migrate the auth module, convert the validation package. Each one is independent, it's manageable, and it's way easier to execute, test, and, importantly, review. And here's why this matters so much. These smaller atomic pull requests reduce the cognitive load for your whole team, they streamline code reviews, and they ultimately lead to higher quality code. This is how you make steady, verifiable progress instead of creating one giant, tangled mess. And all that setup brings us to the final letter, P, which shifts us from setup to partnership. P stands for pair. This is where we really start to understand the collaborative relationship between you, the human developer, and the AI agent. The absolute key here is to recognize what each of you brings to the table. This isn't about replacing developers, it's about augmenting our abilities. It's about playing to your respective strengths to become a way more effective team. And this slide just lays out that partnership perfectly. On the left, you've got the human strengths. We provide the why. We're great at navigating ambiguity. We can handle that complex cross-system thinking.
Then on the right, you've got the agent's strengths, tireless execution, crushing those repetitive tasks, and exploring tons of possibilities at lightning speed. It's a really simple but powerful dynamic. You provide the strategy, and the agent provides the velocity. So there you have it, the WRAP framework. It gives you a clear, actionable strategy to turn GitHub Copilot into a seriously powerful ally, empowering you to finally take control of that backlog. I love how the engineers at GitHub put it. Lingering backlog issues no longer stand a chance when you are equipped with GitHub Copilot and WRA. It really is this powerful combination of human oversight and AI execution. Feeling inspired? I hope so. Think about what you could tackle right now. That one dependency you've been meaning to update forever. Those areas that could really use more test coverage. Maybe adopting a new error handling pattern across the whole code base. These are perfect first tasks for the WR app method. So, I'm going to leave you with this challenge. Go look at your own backlog. Right now, what's the first lingering task that you are going to wrap? Thanks for tuning in.